Welcome to the Style and Strategy podcast. Today's episode is actually a little bit of a controversial one. I couldn't leave alone what was happening with the Witchery Rebrand, the amount of press that was happening in that space, given that I talk about, although I focus on personal brand, there was a lot of elements that were similar that came through in sort of the uproar around it. But also given that I shop a lot in Witchery for many of my clients, and a lot of them, wanted to hear more about sort of this rebrand. So today's episode is going to focus really on that. And I hope you enjoy it and get some hints and tips on how to sort of navigate that world if you are a loyal shopper as well.
I'm Sonia, a personal brand and style coach. My journey began in the corporate world and through lived experiences has led me where I am today. I've walked in those uncomfortable shoes, faced the same challenges and questioned my path to professional success while simultaneously navigating my personal style journey and the challenges that each decade brings. I wholeheartedly believe in the fusion of personal brand and style strategy. My mission here is to provide you with practical, actionable strategies and lived experiences to help you unlock your next level of success through the power of personal brand and style. Let's get started.
So as I said, Witchery's recent rebrand is something that you expect from brands, from time to time. And that's basically where they're looking at potentially targeting a different demographic, or they're looking to differentiate brands within a common umbrella that they may have. There could be a raft of reasons around it. So that wasn't the main part of Witchery's sort of rebrand. But the reason why I am really interested in it and wanted to dive a little bit more around what was happening and what it meant really for a number of loyal customers, especially of those who may be feeling, especially if you follow them on socials, like they're being left behind. Now, I understand completely that frustration where you have finally found maybe a brand or somewhere that you go, I can go there. It's got pieces I love. The quality, is right, whatever brand that might be. And you might really appreciate the stylish and maybe inclusive designs, etc. So it's completely normal to feel a little disappointed when you start seeing a brand that has been a staple, especially in the Australian environment, sort of make changes that seem to exclude you in that process. So some of us, it may not have been intentional. It may just be the way in which the marketing had occurred. Look, but being almost 47, I have always really, enjoyed popping into Witchery and seeing what the store had to offer. Yes, did I enjoy everything that was in there all of the time? Not necessarily, but did it hit the mark for some of my clients? Absolutely. But it didn't mean it was the sole store that they were shopping at either. And I also very familiar with a number of clients who are in their 50s and 60s who also love their designs. And even my 87-year-old mum would even shop there as well and pop in. And yes, maybe they weren't the target market, but so this change is really starting to affect a wide range of customers. So if you aren't familiar with this and you're thinking, what is she talking about? So let me give you a quick little recap. They effectively went black on their Instagram. So they wiped all their existing social materials. They said a new bold awakening was coming. They had hired a new head designer who'd come over from Country Road. And so everyone was anticipating this new launch that was coming through. But one of the first images that came through was a young model in, maybe she was in her early 20s, in a bubble skirt and a blazer. Now, I think that's where all the controversy kind of kicked in, going bubble skirt. And many of us who went through the bubble skirt the first time around may look at that and go, oh, yes, I fondly remember those memories. I'm not really keen to revisit those. So that was sort of part of it. And then as more imagery came out, what we were seeing was some similarity to other Australian brands in the market, a much cleaner, simplified look to what we initially saw come out. And then a question mark specifically around there feels like, specifically in their marketing, that there is a shift in the demographic that they are going after. Now, also, as part of this, and this is what really, I think, brought the majority of the focus of the spotlight on, was that Witchery had really started to forefront, that size inclusiveness as a large Australian brand. And, they were getting size diverse mannequins in store. It was really exciting to see some of the changes. And, that they had then extended the size range up to a size 20. And what had happened in this particular launch is it wasn't spoken about through sort of their change in comms. It came out as you went online and in store to have a look and ask some questions and so forth, that they had dropped back from a size 20 to a size 18. So that caused a significant amount of uproar. But I'm not going to touch on the curve element so much because that got a lot of press around that. And there are hundreds of lessons to be learned from a change and engagement of audience, and how social media can play a significant role, especially in that market, around how you relaunch a particular product and how you consider your existing client base and manage that change as well. And I think just to top that one off as well, that there was, which may have always been in the marketing campaign, but felt like to the consumer a knee-jerk reaction with a image going out of a more curvier model wearing the new designs. And, the market and a number of consumers responded to that. But as I said, I'm not really going to cover off that. What has been running through my mind throughout this whole agenda was, well, hang on a second. It looks like the brand is starting to shift to attract more of the millennial, may I say, and, is really starting to focus on that particular market, which, if I put my business hat on, kind of makes sense when you're looking at the brands that sit under that umbrella, being Trenery, Country Road, and then you look at Witchery. And again, when you look at those two brands, the Country Road and Witchery more so, they were potentially competing for the same customer. So absolutely, from a business standpoint, I can understand what they're doing to try to target potentially a different market. Now, where I'm coming at it from is sort of the perspective of, what does that loyal customer that feels like they don't fit that demographic that they're going after, where is their mindset right now? Is it that some of them are going, well, I feel like I've lost a whole brand that I used to shop at and feel really comfortable walking into? Maybe some of them are saying, yep, no, all good, let's give it a go and see. But what, again, we're seeing, and even through some of that marketing, is this loss of the Gen X plus sort of market, where generally they are the ones, so the women in your 40s, 50s, 60s, who, generally are the ones who have, a significant amount of income and backing and being able to spend the money on some beautiful pieces, as long as you are catering to them. And, we see in the marketplace, especially in terms of the visuals and the editorials and so forth, that older representation is not as prevalent. It is in some places, and I've got to absolutely give kudos to those brands that are showing up with that. But, for those clients who were regular shoppers in that space, suddenly feeling that potentially, oh, is this for me? Am I allowed to still walk in this store? Am I going to feel uncomfortable walking in this store? And so I really wanted to focus on, relying on brands to really stay for the same forever isn't going to be realistic, right? And the belief that a brand should only cater to a specific demographic without evolving can really potentially limit your style growth. And, it can understandably upset many customers. So while these changes might be well intentioned, some clients may just feel really excluded. So, what I want to try to do is reframe the situation. And instead of feeling kind of left out from a marketing perspective, I want to think about how do we adapt to this situation. If you found yourself in that sort of, I feel a little bit disenchanted with the fact that they've gone down this path, it might be the perfect time to explore some other brands that are really committed to the values and style that you are looking for. It might be that you are looking for those other brands that are offering a broader size range and designs that resonate with your personal style and your values. And it might also be that to get the courage to really focus in on what is your personal style and are the pieces that brand is putting out, not necessarily the models in them, but are those pieces in line with your brand, your style, that you will take that option to go and test it and try for yourself and see, does it still work for me? Yes or no? So some of the steps that I recommend to really go down that steps to adapt is really start to have a look at some new brands. Maybe try to stretch out a little bit, spend some time on that, to see if there's something there. Is there new styles or other styles that you might be open to trying and different fits? It might be a great opportunity to go, hang on, you know what? I'm going to refresh my wardrobe. I'm going to start to, this is my chance to go, I want to take a different take here and really find some pieces that really resonate with you. Because no one wants to continue to feel, sidelined or disillusioned by brands that maybe don't cater to your needs. You want to take the control on your style and find those brands that celebrate you. And so really what I'm saying is the choice is absolutely in your hands. And you've got a real opportunity to, test what's coming out, in Witchery. Is it right for you? Does it work? Because in the end, it's about fit, quality. Does that work for you? And then bring some sort of fresh excitement and confidence to your wardrobe. So if you need some help finding some of those brands that align with your style and your size needs, drop me a DM, let me know. And I'd love to help you find those new options that actually make you feel like seen again. So I can really work with you to ensure that your wardrobe has that diversity that you're looking for. So you feel really confident every single day. Now, if you're going back a step and are thinking, hang on a second, I don't actually know what my style is anymore, I have created a free guide that will take you through the 3 critical steps that you need to take in order to start to find that style again. And I'm calling it the Ultimate Style Guide. So if you're interested in that, then head on over to yourstyledcollective.com.au/style-guide. Or otherwise just check the style notes below and grab your copy. But I'm always here to bounce some ideas off and allow you to, go and explore and find some other brands outside of your current sphere of where you potentially shop. I hope you've gathered some fresh ideas and different ways to really think about some of those changes that have come through, and let me know if you need any help. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for being part of this inspiring episode. If you found value in today's discussion, please don't keep it a secret. Share it with a friend on social media, tag me at Your Style Collective, and leave a review. Your support means the world. Join me again next week for another empowering episode of Style and Strategy, the Leadership Series. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, you're already taking that first step towards your transformation journey. See you next time.